Hi, everybody. I can't tell if this is online yet or not. I'm going to check from my phone, see if I can see it on realprogressivesvideo.com or on the Facebook page. Okay, it looks like we are live. Okay, sweet. So this is super meta. Okay, cool. Hi, everybody. My name is ZachHaller. Wow, this is really a complicated process to have technology work the way you want it to, despite it, being programmed specifically for this job. But I'm going to do the best that I can, and I don't know if I'm necessarily going to be seeing everything, but we will roll, and hopefully every week will be a little bit smoother than the week before. So my name is ZachHaller. I'm the host of the show now on Real Progressives called Trending Topics, and the wall was kind of boring behind me, so you'll be able to see it a little bit better in a little provide some kind of new, fresh takes on what's going on in the world. Topics, because we're going to discuss what's trending, and we're going to and last week I gave you of my goals of the project. Basically, I'm going to shoot for either episodes, wrap it all up at a podcast series at the end, get it up, and every week have a new guest and work on just basically a mix of current events and just kind of bigger picture progressive organizing agenda. And so your involvement and your feedback and your engagement is appreciated and welcome, and let me know what is entertaining. And pour a drink, and if it's legal where you live, feel free to hit the pipe. But without further ado, I'm going to bring Sam right on and hopefully not mess this up. Let's see here. Are you the...
Hey, can you see me, hear me?
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
It's kind of hit or miss, like you keep going in and out. I think you just have a bad connection.
Getting it.
You need better internet, bro.
Say that again.
You need better internet, bro.
No, I mean I'm in like the section of the house with the extended router, so should be all me. And can you make out what I'm saying? Can everybody hear what I'm saying, or do we need to postpone this now? Okay. So anyway, thanks for bearing with us, everybody. Steve makes it look easy, and it's not. But anyway, my guest tonight is Sam Ronan, who you probably are familiar with. Sam was our people's representative in the DNC chair race that had just happened recently. Now Sam is working on a lot of other stuff, and I am really excited to meet him in general here. But I'm looking forward to chatting with him on everything that's going on now for him and kind of with current events and with the progressive agenda. So thanks for joining me, Sam, and thanks for being such a patient person through all these technical difficulties.
It works, brother. Trust me. You don't win the revolution on a single day.
That's correct, or with a single podcast, but we're going to try. So tell me a little about yourself. I know, but for the folks in the audience who may not know about you, tell me a little bit about your personal background.
Well, it started on a dark and stormy night about 27 years ago. No, basically, I'm just a guy. I mean, I was enlisted 2 years ago, and 4 years before that, the government shut down, and I was like, no, that's unacceptable. So I was a guy who was just as much disenfranchised and disassociated with politics as everybody else until it affected me. And then I decided to do something about it. And, I ran for Congress, and then I ran for state rep, and then I ran for DNC chair. I also went to a few activist movements like the Black Lives Matter in Cincinnati, and I went to DAPL twice. So I'm just a guy trying to do the right thing because nobody else seems to be doing it.
Yeah, I think it's
Yep, same here.
okay. Cool. So let's just postpone this. I have just kind of got full of all of these different technical difficulties. So sorry, Sam. Sorry, everybody. Let's just move this till next week because I don't think that this is going to be super productive because I'm having a hard time. He's having a hard time hearing. You may all be, and I feel like I'm already driving you crazy. But you had a drink. Sam, do you have a drink over there?
Cheers.
I don't know if Sam has a drink. Cheers, man. some water. Appreciate it. So sorry, guys. I'm gonna cut this off, and I will be with you next week. And I will vet all of my issues and find a good space and good internet. And Sam and I will run a practice run, and we'll be in better condition for next week. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and I'll catch you soon. Take care, guys. That's a fucking hot mess.
Hey, it's all right, man. Technical difficulties are part of the process. So,
Oh, you heard that though.
well, no, I mean, I heard a little bit of it. It was glitchy though, as all get out. Like you're, you know.
When it's like I literally did it here last week with no problem.
But were you trying to get somebody on the other line? You said you've never done a video for a video.
And yeah,
See, like now you're breaking out again.
but I've done. Well, so this is the first time I done. This is the first time I'm doing. It's fun. Uh, can you hear me?
Now I can. There we go. Yeah, see, I mean, it's all good though, man. Figure out whatever it is. And then we'll try and re-engage sometime later so we can do this right. Well, yeah, it might still be live. I don't know if you ever actually turned it off. Well, you know what? We can continue doing this for a little bit. I think the main questions he wanted to ask me was essentially what my plans are for the future, what it was like running for the DNC. He also wanted to say like what was current events and like the things that should be trending and what aren't. So the long and short of it is the DNC race was pretty interesting, to say the least. And it was surprisingly easy to get involved once you got into the door, because all you needed was 20 signatures, right? Other than that, though, everything else was playing the game, you know, with the establishment and the elites. And as you all know, I was not about that life. So moving forward past that, you know, I've been talking about helping people since the very beginning. We need to get involved at the grassroots, the local levels, and truly empowering people. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a database that we all can use to get involved in politics, to figure out how to get on the ballot, how to run an effective campaign, and come up with a volunteer list so that we all have, you know, the tools and resources necessary to win. Am I talking to myself? Because I saw all these comments disappear now. If you can hear me or see me. Okay, cool. All right. Now, as far as like what's current events going on, right? The Affordable Care Act repeal by the GOP, that was horrific. I mean, it is literally going to kill a quarter of the population. It's going to roll back everything that was good about the ACA and then offer tax breaks to the insurance companies themselves. It's freaking ridiculous how absolutely abhorrent the rules are towards people. And I mean, I would love nothing more than to be on a debate stage with Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan and tell them exactly what I think about their attitudes and actions towards the American people. Hold on, Zach's Facebooking me. I don't know. I think it's just his connections. I don't know. I've had this problem before with somebody trying to use this program, so it is what it is. Regardless of that fact, yeah, I mean, I would love to be on that debate stage too. I don't know how it would ever be done. I don't know how feasible it would be to get them to actually follow through with it. But hey, if we can get this trending and Ronan versus Paul or something hashtag, I'd be all about it. I just saw that somebody asked me if I ever got a hold of Pip, and we did. Let me make sure I say her name right because it's really hard to pronounce. It's Araquel Bloss, I believe. Me and her had a chat, and it was fairly productive. I think there was, initially there was a little bit of miscommunication, misunderstanding of what was going on, but after that fact, it seemed like we're on the same page. She's been building a coalition between the progressive movement, and I'm trying to build a database where we can all put that information in so that we can all share our information intercollectively. So I think there is a future there. I think there's definitely a working relationship that we can utilize and leverage for other collaborative efforts with other organizations as well. That's my little pitch. I'm trying to build the toolbox that everybody can put their stuff in so that we can have a database and the tools and the resources needed to win, with or without the help of the parties. I don't know what his itinerary was, but I think it was the things that weren't trending but should be was the very low voter turnout in California a couple days ago. And, that's exactly the problem. Civic engagement is the lowest it's ever been in our nation's history. And we keep getting Republicans. We keep getting this Trump administration. We keep getting all this bull that is what the Republicans rely on. Because when we don't turn out to vote, Republicans win. When we turn out to vote, Democrats win, or at least liberal and progressive ideologies. Now it's just a matter of making sure that those Democrats or progressives who do run and get on the ballot are ones who actually have our best interests at heart. And that's what I'm trying to do. That app, that database, will have an ingrained vetting process in that. We will only give access to the voting lists and the contact information to those candidates who are actually vetted and we support in a campaign. And that way, we would also have across the country the independent progressive movement able to support and back each other, with or without the support of the parties. But going back to California, I saw a lot of despair afterwards because it's like, how did we lose? Is the progressive movement actually not as strong as we thought? It's like, no, you didn't vote. You did the activism, you did the organizing, you did the Facebook rallying, you did the Twitter tweets and all this other stuff. You did the videos, you did the canvassing and the texting and all this, that, and the other. But when it all came down to it on the day to vote, you didn't come out. We need to start getting civically engaged and we need to vote. We need to exercise that most important right. Because if we don't, then we don't get our people elected. And that's what it comes down to. I'm trying to encourage people to vote, show that it's easy, make it available, make it feasible, and show that it can be done. If you guys go to www.thejoesinitiative.org/directory-for-voter-registration, it's my page that I have that says, quite simply, this directory is to detail point for point how to register to vote in the state you live in, which is listed in alphabetical order for your convenience. Whenever possible, the directory will also have links showing the requirements to run for office and how to get politically involved. Also, for your convenience, we have added the .gov links to register to vote, your state's federal election office, voter registration age requirements, and voter registration deadlines. Those links are readily available. I have put them all on one page that you can like and share, tweet, do whatever. Let's see. Zach seems to be working. I don't know if he has to refresh the thing, but I'm going to keep talking in the meantime, whether or not he shows up. I'm going to go on the Real Progressives on our link that we have going right now, and I'm going to actually share that that URL that I just mentioned, because that's what's important, having the information readily at our fingertips and knowing where it is we need to go to and who we need to look at. So here it is right now. So other than that, we just seriously need to get out there. We need to get involved. We need to participate. We need to vote. I can't say it. I can't stress it any harder than that. Now, the other thing that's on that URL is my Facebook groups, the state level ones, as well as the collaboration page. We are working to creating this movement. It's just right now it's grassroots. We're still building the structure and the organization, and we need more dedicated people. We need people to help share our main pages so that we can build a following and grow our power, so to speak, our power base. But given the circumstances of how this interview kind of worked out, I'd rather turn this into a Q&A. I don't want to just sit here and pitch my idea. I'd like to hear from you. Please comment and ask me anything you'd like. I would be happy to answer. The DNC, I picked the DNC specifically because it was vulnerable, it was weak, and it was already a national organization with name recognition and the tools and resources at its disposal to give us the tools that we need to actually succeed. If we could have reformed the DNC and actually embraced progressive politics and policies, ideologies, and truly consolidated the information so that it would be readily available to people, I wouldn't have to build the app from scratch by myself. You know what I mean? Like, the DNC has a national organization. It's just weak in rural America. But if I had been successful in winning the DNC chairmanship, this would be a whole different story. Brian, I do intend to run for office, specifically for Congress, perhaps even in 2018. But right now, my main priority is to get this database off the ground and running. All right, sorry about that. Okay, where do I go now? Right now, what I'm working on is building that database, and that's my sole focus. Now, granted, it's also building my brand, right? Everything on Facebook is Ronan Warriors of. The Ronan Warriors collaboration page and Ronan Warriors of your state. I'm trying to build the group. I'm trying to build the process so that we can get as many people in and working at the same time, get working on the same thing. We're also working on building user forms so that you can go and find your local union reps, your local universities, and media contacts so that we can start dedicating it and filling in this database. Hold on a second. I'm talking to some of my team as well. Okay, the next one, let's see, can I scroll on these comments? Does not look like it. So to run for DNC, I invested at least like $1,000 of my own money into it, not to mention the travel costs and everything else. That's why those donations were very helpful. Melissa, no, the DNC has shown point blank that they're not going to embrace progressive values. That's why I'm building this network so that we can embrace them ourselves, get on the ballot as a DNC member or as a Democrat or a Republican, as the case may be, but then still support and resource our own candidates so we can win. We're just going to start using the major parties as our platform to get our foot in the door. And I missed a couple questions. I'm sorry, guys. Keep asking. Keep it up. Yeah, I'm really not seeing a way to scroll down. Keep the questions coming, folks. Let's see. Maybe this will work. I'm trying to load it up so I can scroll down. Okay, Ida, the data that I want in the database is going to be ballot access information. So essentially, what it takes to get on the ballot in the first place, you know, what the rules and regulations are for each various office. It's also going to have a sign-up sheet. So if you want to volunteer to, say, phone bank, canvas, donate, fundraise, whatever, there will be a sign-up sheet for that. And there will also be a contact list of union personnel, college reps for internships and stuff like that, media outlet contacts as well, which will only be accessible to the vetted members that we have vetted, so that that data isn't being stolen or shared by the corporatist candidates. You're right about the Democrats on state and local level is disorganized and hard to find info for, because I found that out the hard way. That's the main reason why I'm building this database from the national level down to the local level. In fact, I would really like if everybody who's watching and shares joins one of these groups, because the more people we have working on gathering this information and inputting it into our database, the better off we'll be and the faster this thing will be up and running. We are working on the user form right now. What we do have, and again, if you go to the link that I submitted earlier, there's that directory which has a list of all of the Facebook groups. But if you also go to this website, this link, it's a Google form, and you can sign up and let us know what it is you want to do. We're in grave need of data mining. We just need people to do the research and put that stuff on an Excel spreadsheet, so that when we have the user form ready to go, or that when we have the database up and running, you can just submit to us those Excel sheets and we can upload it directly. So seriously, as much research and data as you can mine about contacting your local union, you know, this is the way it needs to look. It needs to be state, zip code, union, or school, or media contact, right? So in its own little column, phone number, name, email. That's the order it needs to be in if you're going to do it on an Excel sheet, all right? So again, state, zip code, whether it's union, college, or media contact. I said phone number, but maybe it would make more sense if we did name, phone number, email. All of that in one line for the one contact. And then if it's multiple contacts of the same thing, just state, zip code, the same union or college, and then the next name, and the next name, and repeating that process. Put it on a Google Sheets and keep on adding to it. Make it available to the rest of your friends. And once we're ready to launch the database, once we have it ready to go, I will put out another bolo, and you guys can just email me those links, and I can forward those emails to my team, and we can make it work that way. Robert Walker, no, nobody with a suit has been seen digging in my trash can. Colleen Sparks Albrecht, thank you so much. If you know what, I'm actually going to copy that and send it to my team because, as sad as this sounds, we really haven't came up with a necessarily a working model of how the database will be organized yet. So that'll be that'll be a nice way to do it. Okay, dokie, dokie, dokie. Let's see. And Colleen, if you're not in the Oregon group already, please do, and please start the Google document and make it an editable version. And Ida Martinek, I want to work with you. If Draft Bernie is already doing this, we need to be in contact. Like seriously, the only reason why I'm doing all of this by myself is because nobody has been sharing their information, and that has been the primary problem with this. We need to be working together. So please, 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 I am begging you. Get me in contact with the Draft Bernie group. We can pool our resources. That's the whole point of this. Madison, Elizabeth, I'm in Ohio, so feel free to visit and help out. We could definitely use it. Susan Mercurio. Oh, I already answered that question, sorry. Rita Smith, actually our primary focus is, like as far as the platform goes, we're not going to talk about universal healthcare and education, not because we don't believe in it, but because it's not something that can be marketed per se easily in rural America where any amount of socialized medicine or education is viewed as paying for somebody else's insurance and stuff like that. And trying to work on that message right now is beyond the scope of where we're at. So for now, we're working on getting money out of politics, improving the voter accessibility, ballot access. What was it? The other one, gerrymandering, getting rid of gerrymandering and stuff like that. Ida, it's not so much that I need to join you or you need to join me. We need to share our information. So it's a little broader than that. We need to be working together intrinsically. I need your information so I can put it in my database to give back to you so to use it. How many words per minute do I type? Well, every time I've done a typing test, it's between 65 and 70 with quite a bit of typos. If I just go out of my way to type, I think I can hit 75, 80. But the weird thing is I type like this. I use these fingers. I'm working on using the rest of my right hand. What else do we got? Well, I guess I'll unashamedly talk about my GoFundMe page. So the one bad part about grassroots is that we don't have money. So I'm hosting an event in New York City. We're doing a long tour of the East Coast essentially. And if you can share and like my GoFundMe page, I'd be very, very grateful, because otherwise it's going to be completely out of pocket. And I'm already cutting into my savings. So I appreciate any amount of help, even if it's just sharing the GoFundMe page. So that's my unashamed asking for your money. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys, I accidentally closed the feed. I meant to close the extra Facebook. Can you guys see me again? No, 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 that was me. Can you guys hear me again? Okay, good. Sorry about that. That was all my fault. I was trying to get rid of the page there. So anyway, Sandy, about the hand-counted paper ballots. Right now, that does seem to be the best solution to our problem, to do universal voter registration, universal mail-in ballots, and then having it a function of the U.S. Postal Service, and then maintaining those records for a period of like 4 years or something, and keeping them archived. There's also the blockchain voting system, which coupled with open source voting would be also a technological solution. It's just that costs a lot of money, and a lot of counties, believe it or not, can't afford it. So the technology solutions are going to be along the way coming up. Zach had technical difficulties. I think he called it at night and started drinking himself into a stupor. Unless he's on there, because I just saw Real Progressives type out something. So Colleen Sparks, exactly. There's too many groups out there. There's thousands of groups out there, thousands of progressive organizations all working in parallel but not together. That's why I said to Ida, we need to share our information. One, it means we're not doing the work twice. Two, it means we both have access to it. And three, the more we share and the more we work together, the stronger we become as a unified movement. True, the paper thing is affordable, and it also justifies the postal industry and keeps them strong and unified. But technology is definitely an issue because you're right, it is vulnerable right now, and that's why it's an eventuality, but it cannot be the thing right now. So please, Ida, please share your information. We have the database. You guys have the info. Let's be working together. We have the means to pull it up. I'm just saying, like, between all these different orgs, if we just put all of it in one place and then shared it, we would be good to go. All right? DM me or go to the collaboration page and invite yourself, because this is exactly the kind of thing we need to be working on. See if Twitter has any questions for me. All right, I just posted that on Twitter, so maybe we'll have more questions and stuff to do. I wish I met Tulsi, because I'd ask her one simple question: why aren't you doing this? Yeah, I have spoken with Nick Brana, and he seemed very open to the idea. Write an email to him and CC me in it. Or actually, I guess you'd have to have my email address first, wouldn't you? Ida, can you please Facebook me real quick, DM me, and I'll share my email with you. I believe Nick has my information already, but I could be mistaken. He should at least have my number. Waiting on you, Ida. Jeez. Just kidding. Well, that's true too. Like she should. I mean, I think that's what she's doing, preparing a presidential run. Tana Welsh, there isn't. I mean, the Green Party in the United States of America, a third party is simply not viable. And it's not because the Green Party sucks or the Libertarian Party sucks. It's because ballot access is a problem. And because the Republicans and Democrats have dominated the political spectrum for so long, they've actually passed legislation that makes it difficult for third parties to be viable and independents to have ballot access. That's the sole reason why the Green Party is not going to become stronger. But we can certainly work together. We can certainly use their help in building the infrastructure. Sandy Degg, I guess you got your voter registration card for nothing then. All right, Twitter seems to be a little slow on the uptake. It's okay though. It's all good. I guess I could share this, couldn't I? I should be sharing this on my social media. This is how bad I am with. I'm like a millennial, right? But I'm like the worst millennial ever because I don't. I don't know what's going on. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share this to my pages. The Pink Pony Pack is essentially what this app is, although we're calling it Our Voice instead. Not that I have anything against pink or ponies, it's that I think Our Voice more succinctly describes what we're trying to do. We're trying to have our voice heard in politics. We're trying to give we, the people, a voice again. It's that strength, that cognizance, you know what I mean? Yeah, and the only way to completely overhaul our state elections process is by getting folks elected who have a vested interest in doing that, which is easier said than done. Obviously, because I still don't have 8 million followers on Twitter and Facebook, so it's not like I can say, call to action, and half the country steps up. I have 8,000 followers on Twitter and 5,000 followers on Facebook. I have a ways to go yet. I need a couple extra zeros on those numbers, which I'd be happy to have your help in achieving. Hold on a second, guys. I'm trying to find a couple things here real quick. Got it. Okay. So I'm also trying to give it time to get those questions rolling. Geez. There we go. That's better. So apparently Facebook live streaming and trying to go on the same thing that is currently live streaming is difficult and slowing down the laptop. So I don't want to close too many pages though. Okay, Facebook is now beginning to irritate me. Brad Earhart, you missed that. I did support blockchain voting. It's just we have to make sure that it's protected when we use it. So it's probably going to take a combination of blockchain voting and open source actually get elected. That's what I'm trying to do, create an overarching process and database that we can use to get elected, use our resources, our volunteers, our money to get on the ballot as a Democrat or a Republican, or both for that matter, get elected because our people know we need the votes, and then infiltrate the system that way, rewrite the legislation so that we can have truly open elections again. I didn't shut the window again, did I? No. You guys can still hear me, right? Okay. Y'all. I got to work on my colloquialisms. I don't mean to be offensive or sexist if I say you guys. I mean you all. All right. So the blockchain voting is essentially you have an input, and then it gets multiplied over and over and over again among like 30 or 40 or 100 or 200 different processors. Oh snap! That long. Anyway, it's all those processors that it's like multiple redundancies multiplied exponentially. Hey, is Zach back? I hear you breathing in there.
Am I?
You're back.
What is going on? Is Vault 7 like happening to us right now? Like, what's going on?
It might be, but hold on. Before you actually talk about Vault 7, I do want to be very, very clear. I'm still a reservist. I have not looked at Vault 7. And I cannot and will not talk about it beyond saying that the revelations therein are in fact troubling based on the fact that there are concerns with various federal organizations. That's the only thing I can and will say on it.
Okay. Can you hear me? This is hilarious. I totally just gave up, but apparently it's working, and apparently it's been working just fine the whole time.
Well, it's been working
and
for me.
And you just haven't forgotten, and I love you for it. That's hilarious.
It's been working for me regardless, but you're still patchy. So,
okay. I mean,
it is what it is. I can hear you.
I'm almost done with my drink. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think everybody can see me. I clicked the end broadcast, but it didn't clearly end the broadcast. I know, right? I got it right here. It's like I'm ready for another. It's fine.
Oh, hold on.
Do you want to chat for like 15 minutes, and people will see what they see? And
I've been chatting for the past 30 minutes. But let me answer Buck's question real quick. Buck Bewley, we're actually going to launch our PAC fundraiser on Monday. And once that PAC is live and we've achieved however much money we've achieved.
Sorry, finish your... Okay, go for it.
And once we've achieved the officiating it as a 501c4 or 3 or whatever the hell we decide, we will offer donations and contributions across the country, and we will be using that fundraising mechanism to help support candidates. Now, we don't know exactly how much we're going to be fundraising. We estimate that we'll be able to fundraise at least $500,000, but $500,000 spread across several thousand counties obviously doesn't amount to much. So once it's live, we will see what we will see. The hope, though, is to fully fund at the minimum the requirements, like the campaign tools, like the flyers and stuff. That is the primary focus on our fundraising mechanism, is to finance the hard copy